Hey guys, Eric Ortiz here, my good friend,
Mercer Morrison, back.
and we just came from seeing The Odyssey,
The Odyssey.
written by
You
Homer
know,
but directed by Christopher Nolan. So actually, you know what? Full disclosure, this is
just
my
full disclosure day.
fourth time seeing the movie opening weekend.
Oh my God. What? Wait a minute. So originally I was going to see it at 3 a.m. with him, but I had
Yeah.
just gotten off work and I was just like, this isn't going to happen. I like my sleep.
Quitter.
I know,
So
yeah.
I caught it IMAX Digital,
Oh, jeez.
twice IMAX Digital, once in Dolby, and then I was very fortunate to catch an IMAX 70 millimeter print at the AMC Lincoln Square, best IMAX in the East Coast. And
I'm planning on seeing it whenever
Yeah, we're
seats
gonna-
open up next year.
next year,
when
yeah,
the
yeah.
seats
At the very least, by 2028, there should
Yeah.
be some seats. But let's get into it. The Odyssey. I mean, I'll give you the honors. Go first, my friend.
I really liked it. I will say that obviously there's going to be some things I liked about it, some things I didn't. It felt epic in the best way possible. I don't say that lightly. I feel like it's been a very long time since we have had a film like this with so many amazing set pieces and so many amazing scenes. The acting performances as well, like Robert Pattinson. I feel like he was kind of channeling like Alan Rickman, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah,
a little
actually,
bit,
that's a
with
very
kind of
good point.
Like a sniveling kind of like '90s villain.
And a little bit of Sheriff from Nottingham from Men in Tights. Pardon me.
Yeah, a little bit of him as well. But yeah, the acting performances are fantastic, and like Christopher Nolan, I think just because of his directorial talents, he's able to get like these big actors to play small roles and everything.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because this is a movie that's essentially the entire cast is nigh or full-blown A-listers. Almost every actor in this movie could carry their own film, and here they are. You know, it's like, what's the saying? There are no small parts, just small actors. All of these actors are grand scale actors in a grand scale movie, and it doesn't need action. It doesn't need like the big set pieces. On their performances alone, the movie just feels bigger, more epic, more. I don't know. It's like classic filmmaking, like from the ages of Ben-Hur, where the studio just throw a crap ton of money into a movie. Just for the spectacle, just for the feel of it, and you get that here.
I mean, the fact that I love how Chris Nolan wants to do practical over CGI,
Yeah.
God forbid AI, but we're never going to see him do
No.
AI. But yeah, like I love how he prioritizes that because I feel like it gives such inventiveness, like the scene where they go to Hades and everything.
Yeah.
Like, that was such a really cool and inventive scene, and I think a lot of with the Cyclops and then the Land of the Giants. I think that again, a lot of kind of inventiveness and also size scaling and everything, forced perspective.
Forced perspective.
And but again, like this movie, I feel like it's again just been it's been a very long time since we've seen a movie like this. And but the things I will say, it does take a little bit of used to hearing the script, because it's not really in this sort of old English or kind of throwbacky thing people call people like mom and dad, and also saying fuck and stuff like
about that, it's like when Scorsese did Last Temptation of Christ, and everyone was pretty much talking. They were from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter because the story was there, the characters were, the arc was there. So I don't think it took away from it. I think it just made it more relatable, especially for today.
I think, once I kind of got used to it, because again, like when you're sort of conditioned when you see sort of these historical epics and everything, that people talk a certain way, everyone talks in an English accent, everyone talks how we're talking in this movie. I don't think there was one British accent in the entire thing.
Even from the British actors, there was no British accent.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. You had Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, like you had, those guys coming in, and they just, they talk like this. And I will say that if I could think about who the weakest actor was, and I hate to say it, but it's Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland. I think that he was the weakest. But then again, it was only in the first act that I found him the weakest. I think just kind of getting used to him as a character, and I kind of forget that Odysseus' son is kind of like, essentially is a Nepo baby. And so he thinks that he knows everything, and he is going to be like a little bit of a sniveling brat. But there were just like points of dialogue, especially between him and Anne Hathaway, where I was like, I don't quite believe what you're saying and doing, but I think as the film went on, it got
better, and the
the
pacing got better.
screenplay played more to his strengths than everything.
Now, About that's I'm glad you mentioned that in terms of Tom Holland's character. Yeah, the character does start off as weak, but the movie just has a massive first act exposition dump.
Yeah.
The pieces on the chessboard are set up for you from the very beginning, so you're not confused once the movie starts ratcheting up the pace. And while that might have, I think it did hurt it a little bit. Like I think you could have probably shaved, what do you think, 5-10 minutes from this movie?
Like what happened?
Just in terms of like screen time, like you could have shaved like 5-10 minutes off.
Yeah,
this.
you could have probably have done, but then again, like it kept me so engaged, and I really think that, yeah, like again, I think this movie will have a lot of people on the edge of their seats, and again, I think one of the last films that we saw was The Death of Robin Hood, and that had me checking my phone a lot, and that's also a good barometer of if I check my phone a lot, then that means that I'm not engaged in the movie. That means I don't really like that movie, but this film had me engaged throughout the entire thing. It really didn't feel like
its length. No,
yeah, it didn't feel like a chore to do it, and we clearly saw it in theaters. So.
Yeah, and honestly, like I say, shave 5-10 minutes, and that's more just like like a pacing thing where maybe a scene felt slow here and there. But to be perfectly honest, trying to think of it right now, there's probably one scene that you could probably get rid of with Pattinson and Anne Hathaway, but you kind of need that scene for narrative clarity.
I kind of like
no
that.
spoilers.
No, I will say that I like that scene because I feel like that was him. Because again, in the beginning, I think he's trying to kind of get on the good side of Tom Holland's character, and thus trying to get through of his mom. And then once his mom kind of rejects him, then he's like, well, now I'm just gonna be a part of the other suitors where they're trying to get oust, Odysseus' son. So I like that, and I think, and I will recommend this movie, The Return. If you want to kind of get more into the third act, more into that, there's a great movie that came out a couple of years ago called The Return
with Ralph Fiennes.
It is a little bit, or it's more slow paced, and I think it goes a lot more into the character of Odysseus, a man who has just lost everything, coming back home and kind of, essentially building himself up from there. I think it's much more of a great character study.
Right.
I will say Nolan did hit on a lot of great character beats, but I feel like that one kind of entrenches itself in
right. From what I understand, like the third act of this movie is the return.
Yeah.
So
yeah, literally,
just for perspective.
Yeah. I feel like you could stop it about as soon as he gets off the island with Calypso, and then just begin it, and then just start watching the return. And then you'll be like, wait a minute, why does Odysseus now look like Ralph Fiennes?
Just like you could, watch Troy and then see this movie, and it's a good double feature night because I think in terms of epic scale, Wolfgang Petersen is a very different director than Christopher Nolan. Nolan has this great thing of when he's showing you exposition, he kind of cuts away to other scenes and other moments.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like you're watching a book as a film in terms of just how much story just thrown at you over and over. It never really stops in that sense.
Yeah.
Peterson's very different, but like I recommend, if you've seen Troy or haven't seen Troy yet, give that a view before seeing this. Just gonna put this out there, and I gotta just, we gotta get the casting thing out of the way. It's 2026. They couldn't have casted a real Cyclops. They had to actually go there and do CGI.
I know.
I'm so disappointed. It's right up there with, there being no Achilles here. Wink, wink, if you know, you know.
That really is like their Achilles heel.
But
bump. Not having a Chili's in there. No, I mean, if we're going to talk about the woke casting, get over yourself. Like, I really can't tell. I mean, like, I feel like all
it doesn't take anything away from the movie.
It doesn't take anything away from it. Like, it is a little bit jarring because, we saw Elliot Page as Ellen Page when they first began their career, and we haven't really seen them much as Elliot Page. So when he does show up, it is
a big
kind
reveal.
Of like, you're still, you're still kind of like getting used to them. Like that was just the thing for me, is that I'm not used to seeing him now as opposed to when I had originally seen him. So
but to the point of actors and talent and the A-list and the quality of the actors, imagine you're watching a play on stage and not every actor looks like they're what you expect them to look like, but the performance is there, and the performances are here.
Yeah, the performances are key.
That's paramount.
Definitely.
Any negatives on your end?
I would just say sometimes the screenplay felt a little bit stilted. Like, yes, they put it in modern language, which I kind of felt like that would take away from certain scenes. I feel like, again, I hate to harp on the guy, but Tom Holland, like when they were sailing to Sparta and he was like, my dad's alive, I can feel it. And I was just like, that could have been delivered a little bit better, like with a little bit more passion.
He's used to shooting on digital, not on film.
Yeah, and so yeah, well, he's what?
He's used to shooting on digital, not on film.
Yeah, and so yeah, they could have done like another take of that where he's not. So,
IMAX is expensive, baby.
That's probably what happened. Is they're like, all right, this is the best take. We shot this over a weekend, that kind of thing.
Right.
What about negatives with you?
So, the music is excellent. However, I don't think it's Ludwig Göransson's best work. It does feel a little bit.
I actually love the soundtrack.
No, I'm not saying the soundtrack is bad, but maybe because the score he did for Sin is just so fantastic that this kind of feels like a little bit of a letdown. And I kind of, in my movie brains, I really wanted this to be scored by someone like a Hans Zimmer to see what they would do with it. But outside of that, and maybe a couple of issues here with pacing here and there, and Holland's performance, maybe especially the first act of the movie being a little bit lackluster.
Yeah.
I don't see that many flaws with this film.
No.
It's a tremendous film experience. If you can catch it in IMAX.
It's absolutely a tremendous film experience. Like if you're in a place that doesn't have an IMAX, just go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Like it's certainly something that needs to be seen on a big screen.
If you can see it in IMAX, go see it in IMAX. If you're lucky enough to be in one of the areas that has an IMAX 70 millimeter presentation, which is very rare, but so freaking worth it, I think you'll get just a wonderful experience as a film lover, as a lover of just like big, cinematic productions. This is why movies exist, is to see something like this on a big screen. Okay, here I am interrupting my own review with Mercer. I just came from seeing the Odyssey in 4DX, the biggest 4DX theater in the world, and all I can say is that worth it. The sequences and the storms are fantastic, and even some of the action scenes actually have a lot of extra kicks, so 4DX is a good experience as well. Okay, back to the other review. So now let's get to the rating. Sir, I'll let you go first.
I've done this a few times, but I always keep forgetting the ratings.
Out of 4 honeypots.
Out of 4 honeypots, I would give it, I thought it was 5. I would definitely a 3.5, possibly like a 3 1/3.
3 1/3. So 3.5.
So 3.5, a very, very, very high 3.5.
I'm gonna go 3 honeypots, which is, and my Cinema Bear rating, Cine Entertaining. It's a fun movie. It's a spectacle of a film. It's worth watching. If you're tired of all the CGI video game cutscene nonsense that we're getting way too much of, give this movie a shot. Even if it's not for the action, just to see, actors in a real set, in a real location, scenes on a boat that were shot in the ocean. Like, that doesn't happen very often. So, yeah, The Odyssey, tremendous experience. Just go see it. Do yourself a favor. See a movie. A real movie.
Yeah.
All right?
A moving picture.
Moving picture.
Yeah.
Do it for the kids. All right. Yeah. Guys, Eric Ortiz, your Cinema Bear. Please like and subscribe. Mercer, thank you so much for joining me yet again. And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.